Hello, my name's Joey Duff, and we're sitting down here with the Goodsons, and we really missed them, and we've been wondering what's going on with them lately. So tell us what's going on.
I feel it's important for us to do this video because there have been some changes in our company since we filmed last. Some new employees. We have some that aren't with us anymore. We've gone through a few major changes, so we felt like people would have a better understanding seeing the new videos if we just did this type of video first.
Well, it's been 7 years since we last filmed, and we've got new employees. Some of the old faces are still out there. We still got Smitro, Antonio, Abraham, Durley, Gary, Monkey, Wayne, Justin, and me. So we're still there, but there's got some new faces out there, and some of the other truck drivers and Durley. Oscar passed away, and we just thought it would be easier if if we had this here to let people know what's happened in the last 7 years, catch them up to where we are now. We've got rid of all the old equipment. We've got fairly modern equipment. Matter of fact, the 2010 that we got on the show has actually got 15,000 hours on it now. But this, we thought it would be better if we caught everybody up going forward.
I feel it's a good idea to do a company update videos just to tell everybody what's been going on, what has changed and what hasn't changed. And it's been 6-7 years since I quit filming, so it's just an update and just let everybody know what's going on.
We've had a lot of changes in the company since we last filmed. We've actually got modern equipment now. A lot of the older stuff we got rid of, got some newer equipment. But probably the worst thing that happened to us is when the mill that put me in business 32 years ago actually quit buying hardwood, and they went to buying all pine to make fluff, which they make diaper products out of. That's been hard on us.
It had a huge effect on our company. They had forecasted that storm to be a lot less harsh than it ended up being. It went further inland and just happened to hit where our equipment was. I think there is a dam located somewhere close to that they were talking about releasing waters, and it was already flooded. We already could not get to our equipment. And so we knew if that happened that we would probably lose our equipment. That would probably be the downfall of our company. And during that time, we had already gone through the changes with the mill and stuff, so this just sort of seemed to be like the nail in the coffin, so to speak. And I can remember that day specifically. Bobby was on the phone trying to find out more information, and I can remember just praying, asking the Lord to have His will. Whatever He wanted, I was ready to accept, because prior to that I'd been praying, please help us do this, sort of just telling the Lord how I needed Him to answer my prayer. And this particular incident, I was like, Lord, whatever you want to do is whatever, your will, not mine. And things seemed to have gotten better. But that was a huge huge effect on our job. I weren't sure we were going to make it out of that, and I know that it was nothing short of the Lord working everything out.
The hurricane, it affected us a lot. I mean, we was in a swamp that was pretty far inland. It was 2.5 hours from here, and when they forecasted the storm, it wasn't supposed to go inland like it did. It was supposed to stay on the coast, but it didn't. It went inland, and we actually had to get a John boat, and where we actually put the boat in at was a good 1.5 miles, 2 miles from the woods. And that's how high the water had gotten. But there's always a silver lining. I mean, the man that owned that farm previously for actually 50 years, he put his equipment around the sand hole that he had, and which I'm presuming he figured out was the highest ground. well, we was actually a mile further in the swamp than he was, and his equipment was inundated. It was over the hood. I mean, a lot of it, he had to drain all the water out of his stuff, and the Lord watched after us. When we got down to ours, me and Justin went in on a john boat, and the water was about halfway to tires. So we was very fortunate there, but it was tough on the company because all the roads was washed into. We couldn't haul any wood. It's the first time in 32 years I actually brought all my equipment to the house because I didn't have nowhere to work.
Hurricane Matthew, it was, turned out to be a worse storm than predicted. Where we were working at, we moved the equipment out, but to what we thought was going to be the highest ground, and we found out all the roads were washed out going to the job. And the time we got down there in a boat and seeing the farmers' equipment underwater, we knew ours was underwater. And we finally made it to the back, and luckily, only by God that it was only up to the over the axles, and it didn't make it to the water. None of the rear ends got full of water. So I mean, it could have been a lot worse.
We decided to start doing the videos now because we still had a lot of interest. People still, responding to the show and asking us all the time why we didn't do something on our own, why we weren't videoing. And so the timing just seemed to be right. Things just sort of fell into place. We didn't have to make anything happen. And so we thought that it was time and that it would be a good thing. And we hope that it turns out to be successful. We hope to be an encouragement to other loggers. We hope to use our platform, to share our faith, and we're just expecting good things to come out of it.
Well, we decided to do the videos now. I mean, we've got a lot of interest, people asking us, if we was coming back or different things like that. And, and everything seemed right, like my wife said. I mean, but for me, I like the idea of being able to highlight stuff that I like about logging. I mean, we got tough conditions to work in, and we might be rebuilding a motor, and it just be more, personable, more laid back, and just to be able to show people what we really do and how we really are. And not that the filming wasn't real, it was, but it was on a different format. And this would just be a little bit more laid back and relaxed, I think, and to show you what it's really about and highlight stuff we like. Well, we just wanted to get together and bring everybody up to speed on what's happened in the last 7 years, and a lot of things has happened, but I think we got everybody caught up now. So the next videos will be in the woods, and you actually get to watch us work in the swamp again. So if you like it, just hit that like button down below, and we'll keep bringing you videos.
Still rolling, one more time.
What was I going to say?
Same thing.
I forgot what I said. What's the question? What was the question again? Is there a question? To highlight. What are you shaking your head for? It caused me to backhand you.
I don't know what I'm going to say about the hurricane.
Just tell about when we went on the boat.
I don't want to tell them
Tell about what you were thinking when you were. Hold on a second. I'm gonna read in the question before you go. Why do you feel it's important to do a company update video?
that. I don't. This is what I was told to do. And I'm a company man.
Beat a dead horse.
Then a little bit.
But, yeah, sweet, sour, encouragement, discouragement, it works. But anyway,